So we're doing some more window prep today. Right now we're competing with the sound space around us. We have a fairgrounds right down the street, and sounds like they're blowing engines up. They're racing over there, so we get some loud noises. We're trying to be quick. Today was a short day. We were lucky enough to have some family come out. My grandma and my uncle, and I guess they're my second cousins, but they feel more like direct family, so they all got to see the bus, and it was really nice. My grandma's been staying up to date on everything, but never actually got to see it because it's so far away from where we live that she just hasn't been able to make it down. So it was really nice she was able to make the drive with us today. Really special that she got to come on board and check out what's going on. And then my uncle, that's the noise I'm talking about. Damn them. So my uncle hung around and has been helping us out, and we're really lucky that he's been here because he is the masonry master and very good at precision work. So that's what we've been doing with our all-purpose putty around the windows. This weekend, or Friday I guess, I was able to cut out all the corner pieces and get those installed. You can see everything's looking pretty good. It's thankfully all the same thickness now. You saw in the last video I made a mistake there. So that's been fixed, and we installed all the wood around the windows on this wall of the bus because we're working on the driver's side wall, and then we'll move over to the passenger side when we're done. So the next step in the preparation for the window install, as you know, was putting these wood pieces in. So all those are in. We did that by gluing and screwing them. So on the longer sections, we have a screw in each side and one in the middle. On the corner sections, we have 3 screws as well, one in each end and one in the middle. And then on the small sections in the middle vertical pieces, there's just 2 screws there. So all in all, quite a few screws into the whole perimeter, but it's looking good, and it looks like one solid piece other than the fact that some of the wood's still exposed. So that's the goal we're going for. So we've gotten quite a bit of putty on the wall today, and once again we're using the 3M all-purpose putty. This is interior and exterior use, can be put on almost anything, dries really hard. Part of what we're finding is because of the set time, it's pretty difficult to work with. So it's a 2-part mix. You have your base and then you have your hardener, and you're supposed to mix it for about 2 minutes, and then it says it takes 3 to 4 minutes to dry. So you really have to get it on there quick and work it in. We put a little less hardener in there to give ourselves slightly more time to work with it, but it is a pain in the butt. By the time you've put some on the wall and you're getting it all done and you're going to mix the next batch, the material's already hardening on your tools, and you can't leave that hard, clumpy stuff on because you got to mix your next batch and start putting it on, and you get all those hard clumps. And you want a toothpaste-like texture, if not maybe a little thicker than that, so that it spreads and ends up nice and smooth and you don't end up with a bunch of globs. You don't want to build it up too much. You want it to be more or less flush with your working surface so that you minimize the sanding that you're going to do. So it's tough that it is so difficult to work with. It is a great product, but it's not meant for something like this. It's meant for larger patches where you have to mix maybe, a softball size and put it in, or whatever you're going to use it for. But for this, you would usually use a drywall compound, and we just didn't feel that that was the correct thing to use in this application because of all the vibration that the bus is going to experience. This stuff dries so hard, it's drillable, it's just amazing stuff. You could use it to actually help anchor nails and screws. So it is solid putty. Practically Bondo like you would use on the exterior of a car. It seems to be the same sort of mixture. So we're happy with it in that sense, and we feel that we have to put up with it in order to get the ruggedness of it, I guess. We've managed to screed the bottom, the top, underneath this edge, the top ledge here, and covering up all the screw heads around the perimeter of the window, as well as any gaps, because obviously we had the corner pieces and then the piece of wood in between on the sides, top, bottom, other side. And so we covered all those gaps. Goal, make it look like one piece. As we discussed previously, the clamp ring will just fit in like so. We got to knock down some of the edges. here. Hopefully it does fit in. That'd be embarrassing. So, clamp ring fits in like so. Bada bing, bada boom. And that's going to be our window. This is taking quite a bit of time to get all the putty on there and really make it look nice. It's worth it in the long run. These are 3 of 10 windows, so we're nowhere near done. We've already got a good start on the 3 in the back, but we still have to finish those up with the putty as well. Haven't even touched the windows on the passenger side. But what our plan is will be next week we go back, we do the 3 windows in the back and put the putty on those. Up here, it's looking pretty good. I believe all we'll have to do is go down and sand everything so that it's a nice smooth finish. And we'll be using 100 to 120 grit sandpaper. And if I get the hankering, maybe we'll feather it out with some even finer sandpaper. But it'll probably just be using the orbital sander with 120 grit on there and going over everything to make it smooth. We're gonna stick with spackle on the screw heads. It's such a small area that it's not that big of a deal, and you're not going to be able to see the screw heads anyways once the furniture's installed, but want to go ahead and cover them because we will be priming this whole wall, including priming all the area around the windows. So after we do the sanding, we spackle the screw heads, finish the putty down and back in the back 3 windows, and sand all those. We will go ahead and primer everything and be ready for a couple windows, which will be really exciting. So that's where we're at with the prep. Short day, slow work. Doesn't make for a lot of progress, but we wanted to show you what we got done. It's just the next stage and looking good, happy with the way it's going. So tune back in next week for hopefully our first window in place. I'm still, as I've said before, pretty scared about that stage, but all going well, it's just going to pop right in and it'll be beautiful, right? It's got to be beautiful. So, or Lauren will kick me out of the bus. So, stay tuned.